Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and it's finally time for more spoilers! Oh boy, why spoilers can't come out on the weekend? I don't know. But hey, it's Monday, so let's start with Archway Angel. It's a 6-cost Angel 3/4 flyer, and when it enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life for each gate you control. Oh boy. This would be pretty decent in a gate dump deck. Kind of just buys you time, and 3 damage in the air isn't a very good investment for 6. But I don't know. I would think it would be hyper control already, so how many times are you really going to get hit? It's 5 color. But gate decks like to dump gates into play, so you would get to 6 pretty consistently. I still think this isn't a very good card. Next up, Burn Bright. It's a 3-cost instant. Creatures you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. This was a mistake. Goblin Rush and traditional red Burn Rush, this is too powerful. It's that simple. This is too damn powerful. They can already Shock and Lightning Strike everything out of the way. Now you're going to give them a +2 attack across the board, which is also another +1 because you're running Steamkins. This plus Goblin Chain Whirler is a disgrace. This card was a disastrous mistake. This alone is going to make it so that they have to ban something from Mono Red. Thanks, Wizards, for screwing up Mono Red again. Get the ban hammer out. Absolute morons in the R&D and testing department, seriously. Next up, Combine Guildmage, or Combine, I don't know. It's a 2-cost for 2 Merfolk on color with Simic with 2 abilities. I'm sure this won't be complete AIDS. Let's see, you pay 2 this turn, each creature you control enters the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter on it. Well, that's just broken. Merfolk refuse to die. This card is terrible. Boy, these are just some real gems back to back. Pay 2 with blue, move a 1/1 counter from target creature you control onto another target creature you control. Called it, told you they would do this. So that's an Adapt Enabler, which means we're going to see this in Merfolk Tribal and in Simic Adapt. So, yay, I can't wait. Hopefully they ban something. Next up, Domri Chaos Bringer. Is this the Planeswalker deck version, or is the 3-cost one the Planeswalker deck version? I don't know. Nobody's saying Talarian leaked this and his video was garbage, didn't even give any context whatsoever, just threw it up on the screen. Thanks, Talarian, you're awesome. But it is 5 loyalty for 4. I'm thinking this is probably the real one. It's number 166. What does that mean? Who the hell knows? I think the Planeswalker deck ones have really high numbers, actually. So this is probably actually the real one. Plus 5 loyalty for 4? That's crazy. On top of it, you can +1 them and add 1 mana of either of the Christmas colors there, and then if you spend it on a creature, it gains Riot, or it should say another copy of Riot, realistically. That's pretty nuts. -3, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal up to 2 creature cards from among them and put them in your hand. Hello. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So that's fun. Boy, they're both really pushing the power level. And then -8, which you're going to be damn close to, coming out with 5 and then +1ing it immediately. You get an emblem with, at the beginning of each end step, create a 4/4 red and green beast. I can't even read this piece of crap. Creature token with trample. Fun. So in other words, you eventually win the game. Honestly, kind of weak ult. Not very good compared to Johnny's 3/1/1 lifelink cat creature tokens every single turn. That's pretty fun. But still, you'll probably win within like 5 turns unopposed, but like, what the hell are they playing that would be unopposed? So this is making up for the other 2 garbage Domri copies, one from way back in the day and one from now. So I don't know, I'd say that's cool, but I don't like things that are overpowered, and this is flirting with that. Next up, we got whatever the hell this says. I'm sure it's a counterspell. Let's see. The translation says Essence Capture. Oh boy, counter target creature spell, put a 1/1 counter on up to 1 target creature you control. Oh good, now people get 2 copies of Essence Scatter, that's nice. This is improved, but it's double blue. Will anybody play it? I don't care. Those 2 spoilers just ruined Standard. I really honestly don't give a crap what is after this, at all. Alright, with that, let's move on to Galloping Lizrog. Oh boy, it's a frog lizard. Cute. 5-cost 3/3 trample, so that's garbage, but when it enters battlefield, you may remove any number of 1/1 counters from among creatures you control. If you do, put twice that many on this ridiculously overpowered piece of crap. I mean, this thing is just begging to eat a kill spell, but other than that, it's overpowered as all hell. Absolutely ridiculous considering you could just hit Adapt again in this deck, but I don't know. Draining all of them away and putting them all on 1 target that doesn't have hexproof and no way to save itself, and then paying 5 so you probably don't have a counterspell except, well, dive down. That will in all likelihood save it. It's dangerous to play this card, that's for damn sure. Next up, Gruul Beastmaster. It's a 4-cost 2/2 with Riot, oh boy, and whenever it attacks, another target creature you control gets +X attack until end of turn, where X is Gruul Beastmaster's power. Ooh, fun. Well, that's ridiculous, but giant creature kind of mid-game flood. Meet Gruul. It's way too slow to be taken seriously, and it just does not play around control, and everybody's got just mountains of creature removal. So Gruul is dead on arrival. I don't really care what they print. Oh, just wait till you see some of the creature removal coming up. Next up we got Hacrobat. Oh boy, plays on words and puns and stuff. There's totally not enough of that in Ravnica so far. So it's a 2/3 for 3. It has Spectacle for 2, who cares? And you can give it Death Touch for 1, and then you can give it +2, -2 for another red. Cool. It'll hit for some damage. It's an okay card. Wonderful. All right. So next up we got Kaya's Wrath. Here we go. Now we're talking. Double white, double black. This is not the 4-cost board wipe I wanted. I wanted an actual one. Supreme Verdict or Damnation. I don't want to play this inflexible, oh, it costs 4, but really you'll need 6 lands out to pay for that exact mana mix bullshit. Anyway, destroy all creatures. You gain life equal to the number of creatures you controlled that were destroyed this way. Wonderful. So Orzhov gets a board wipe and nobody else does. You'd barely be able to play this in a 3-color deck, if at all. I mean, you might as well just run Cleansing Nova. At least you'll actually be able to pay for that on time. But it is about damn time we got a board wipe. I just wanted it to be mono black, and I would have been perfectly happy if it cost 5. We needed it. So anyway, next up we got another mythic. Oh boy, Mesmerizing Benihid. It's a 4/5 double blue for 5, and when it enters the battlefield, create 2/0/2 blue illusion creature tokens with whenever this creature blocks a creature, that creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. That's kind of neat. A little anti-submarine mine, I guess. Also, it has hexproof as long as you control an illusion, so they ain't blowing this up until those guys are gone. And if you play Jace with it, more power to you. Probably, honestly, still not worth putting him in your deck. So this is a 4/5 and giving it, partial hexproof, which, hey, I just realized I called it. I said they would print something. I thought it would be a major mechanic, but I said bare minimum they'll print something that has, limited hexproof. It has, a spell that targets this can be countered once, and then it loses its shield token or whatever. Pretty much this. I didn't think they'd do it like this, but pretty much this. I don't know if you guys have noticed in the last 5 years, but hexproof is too damn powerful. They either bare minimum need to go back to Shroud, or they need to do something like this, or something like I said. Let it be targeted once, counter it, and then the next one blows it up. Real simple. Next up, Ministrant of Obligation. 2/1 for 3, Afterlife 2. Oh boy, when this dies, create 2 spirit tokens. It's weak, and you'd almost want it to die, but then you invested 3 in it, and all you get is 2 flyers out of it. Yeah, they have to kill it twice, but there's that 1 cost Hunted Witness that turns into 1 vampire token. It's not a flying spirit, but this seems overpriced and way too weak for the curve in even an Orzhov Spirits deck, so I don't know if this will be terrifically popular. Maybe, I don't know. Next up is Nikya of the Old Ways, maybe. It costs 5, it's a legendary creature centaur druid, oh boy, and you can't cast non-creature spells, so might as well play it in a Nullhide Ferox deck, or whatever the hell that thing's name is. And then whenever you tap a land for mana, add 1 mana of any type that land produced. So you gotta tap them 2 at a time, but the good news is you get 2 mana for every land. Well, that's absolutely insane, and this would go into any kind of ramp and remove deck that runs, big hexproof creatures, probably Carnage Tyrant, probably that Vine Mare, because that card's amazing. And then just Banefire and the new version of Banefire and this. And ta-da! Hell, you could even go with Jaya's Inferno and then run a bunch of legendaries. I mean, that deck really does write itself. Next up, Orzhov Racketeers, because Orzhov is the worst. It's a 3/2 for 5, so already underperforming overpriced crap, but whenever it deals combat damage to a player, which will never happen because it's a 3/2, that player discards a card. And then Afterlife 2, so that not if it dies, but when it dies, you get 2 crappy flying tokens. Well, this card's a dumpster fire. Next up, Rakdos Roustabout. That looks pretty stolen from World of Warcraft. We got a 3/2 for 3. Whenever it becomes blocked, it deals 1 damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking instead of the creature. So, I don't know. That's kind of neat, I guess. Whatever. At 3/2, you're getting blocked exactly once. Trust me. So it's kind of like crappy 1/3 trample. So don't get too excited about this. But you would trigger Spectacle. So it's not like this has haste and it's kind of late at 3. Next up, Sauroform Hybrid. It's a 2-cost 2/2 with pay 6, adapt 4, so that's kind of neat. 6 is up there, but if you're playing ramp, this would be, an okay turn 2, and then just when you get there, drop it, and then move the counter somewhere else with something else later, or don't. I mean, hey, a 6/6 for 2 is still pretty good. Well, combined 8, I should say. That's actually not a bad card. Next up, Savage Smash, because we already had Savage Stomp, and that wasn't confusing enough. So you pay 3 net sorcery speed, target creature you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn, and then it fights target creature you don't control. Wow, it really is Savage Stomp pretty much. I think they were actually purposely trying to be confusing and confuse people about these being distinct different cards, and then you'll forget which one works which way. Good job. Whatever, anything that costs more than 2 and has this effect is garbage, and it's only until end of turn. You already took damage, so pretty bad card. Just run Rabid. Rabid Bite's better, and honestly, so is the 1-cost fight card, Prey Upon. Next up, Silhan, a Wayfinder, maybe. It's a 2-cost 2/1. It's an Elf Scout, and when it enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature or land card and put it on the top of your library, not into hand. Ooh, they lost me just then. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order, which we all know is not going to be random. There's no way to randomize like 3 cards. It can't be done. They're basically just asking people to cheat. So yeah, this would have actually been an improved version of like Adventurous Impulse, that dinosaur one, the other dinosaur one, and that other Adventurous Impulse. There's like a bunch of versions of this, but this one would have had a throwaway creature attached. But because it's a 2/1 for 2 and it's already an elf, they decided to weaken it and just make it your next draw. So that's kind of useless. I don't know. Are you that desperate for creatures and to get lands out of the way? Probably not. So next up, Skatewing Spy. It's a 2/3 for 4, so pretty terrible, but if you pay 6, you can adapt 2. Oh boy! And then each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has flying. Wonderful. That's what we needed, the Simic Air Force. Wonderful. The problem is if your whole deck hinges on that and you want to become unblockable and you want to win the game with just this, good luck, because he's a hell of a lightning rod and he only has 3 toughness. Still worth playing, it's just, I mean, this would have been utterly broken if they gave it hexproof. But if you can cover it, you'll win, but I don't know. And then if you drop him out late game and they blew up your whole board, which is probably going to happen a lot, he doesn't do anything. So, It's one of those cards that looks really good. Ooh, it's so synergistic, it'll be so great. If they never touch you with control spells. If they do, if they're shredding 50% of what you bring out, this ain't going to do you any damn good. In case you've been living under a rock, Standard right now is an absolute shit show of control. Like, every popular deck is 50% control, so have fun with that. Good luck, oh boy, Rakdos, Gruul, and Simic. Next up, finally, the Azorius Guildmage. We've got white, white, blue, blue in the pattern of the Guildmages. I guess that's what they're called. I don't know. Who cares? That's what I'm calling them. Get over it. It's a 4/3 flyer with Vigilance, so that's already insane. Sphinxes are usually weak as hell, so that's awesome. And spells that your opponents cast that target Sphinx of New Prov cost 2 more to cast. So once again, partial hexproof. It's just a little bit of a magic shield. It's not just, hey, screw you, you can't interact with me in any way, good luck, suck it. Which, by the way, is the flavor text on Carnage Tyrant. This is just like, yeah, I'm a little bit harder to target. Like, you can still kill me, you just gotta put in a little extra effort. I freaking love that. It's a fair card. That cost is insane, but the power of the card is insane. I mean, it's Vigilance in the air and 4 damage for 4. Like, hello. And then it has Evasion. Absolutely crazy card. I just have no idea what it would go in other than white, black, blue spirits, which I still think, I keep saying it every preview video, I think that'll be a thing. Next up, some Portuguese stuff that I thought I could translate until I realized it was Portuguese. Okay, this one's pretty easy. Pretty sure it's Spiral Engineer. Pretty sure it's a 1/1 Vidalcan Mage for 3. Wow, that's nice. And you can tap him to tap for 2, so that's cool. We had a tap for 2 colorless that was real similar to this a while ago, and I put it in my Kid Ramper deck. It was pretty damn good. Worked great with Entrancing Melody, and it still will. So this is nice. This lets Simic really ramp up. I mean, he is a lightning rod to end all lightning rods, with that 1/1 and how important he is, but, whatever. I would prefer like drawing and dumping out extra lands with like Explore and with like Scry and just pure horsepower draws like Chemisters. But if you want to risk it and you want to get it done quick, I mean, this is colored mana and he produces them 2 at a time. So if he doesn't get blown up, cool. And if he does, I mean, honestly, this is Simic. They probably have something better that would have merited the removal spell. So not terrible. It's just, it's a bit of a gamble. Next up, Syndicate Guildmage, which they titled Guildmage even though it's not a Guildmage in the traditional sense because it's not in the rotation of other Guildmages. That's not confusing at all. I don't know. I probably just misread it and the Guildmages are a different rotation. Who cares? Or Cycle, or whatever the hell they call it. At this point, I don't even give a shit. Those other 2 cards, Rune Magic, Standard's going to be a shit show until they ban something. I have completely checked out at this point. But if you don't believe me, just jump on Arena and play competitive ranked 1,000 matches. And then come back and tell me that a +2 in red isn't broken. So anyway, this is a 2/2 for 2. You can pay 2, tap target creature with power 4 or greater. Cool, that's pointless. And then pay 5, which is too much. It deals 2 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. That's stupid. Too expensive, too weak, too slow, and he doesn't have haste, so no thanks. Next up, Theater of Horrors. Why don't they just end Rakdos? They're clearly all a bunch of psychotic serial-killing nutcases. Why hasn't Azorius and Boros just came in and killed every single last one of them? I mean, seriously. So this is a 3-cost rare enchantment. I'm sure this is part of that cycle. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library during your turn. If an opponent has lost life this turn, hey, if only we had a keyword for that. You may play cards exiled with Theater of Horrors. Like, retroactively, by the way. So it's kind of like bonus draw, but this has to actually remain in play. It probably will. It's not like you can counter a spell trying to destroy this, so it depends. But then you can also pay 4 and it deals 1 damage to target opponent or planeswalker, which is a little high, but it's like a whole, oh, look at me, I can deal 1 damage for the turn, and then I can, oh wait, I'm out of mana. And Rakdos ain't exactly the mana ramping color, so I think that last ability is just kind of dumb, but you could finish somebody off with it, and you could take down a planeswalker with it, theoretically, so it's not nothing, it's just, don't get too excited. Next up, Trollbred Guardian. It's a 5/5 for 5. It has pay 3, adapt 2, and each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has trample. Okay, so basically slivers are back is what they're saying, because this whole 1/1 counter thing is the new sliver. Well, this is some bullshit, but unless Simic plays 100% hexproof and then a bunch of adapt stuff, and maybe a couple like dive downs and negates or something, they are going to get their asses completely obliterated by the sheer amount of creature removal that's out right now. So even with just unbelievably broken stuff like this, you're still just going to see them get shredded. Because how are you going to get synergy going if you drop this out and oops, they killed everything else and there's nothing left? Next up, bunch of dudes with some armor and weapons from Halo. That's cool. It might translate to United Stand, but it might not. So it's a rare card, 3-cost instant in white, so this should be good. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. And then addendum. Oh yeah, let them know it's coming. That's a great idea. If you cast a spell during your main phase, put a 1/1 counter on each of those creatures and they gain vigilance. Okay, that ain't no joke. At that point, it's just like, who cares if they see them coming? I mean, they're going to block differently, but how much damage could they realistically take? An ambush would remove more of their creatures, but, I get it. Just kind of feel it out, read the board, look at what they got, and, make the most impact. So this is an amazing card. And you're going to need it when red swings on turn 4 for 27 damage, which is what'll happen. So that's it for this set of spoilers. I knew it was only a matter of time before they completely and utterly broke standard. I can't wait to see what other degenerate crap they come up with to ruin the game even further, and I'm really looking forward to the next ban announcement. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next Utter Disaster.